Welcome to It's On Talk Show. Today we are here at the corner of Pennsylvania North. You know, this corner was the corner of the civil unrest in Baltimore, where the riots began. It now has people concerned about the citizens of this area, and they wanted to help this area and to upbuild this area and to encourage the people to do bigger and better things. So we ask that you all sit back, tune in to see the change in Baltimore, especially this corner of Pennsylvania and North.
So I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming here. And the main thing that I just want to iterate is that in being a public servant, no matter what your caliber is, we have to walk with the people. We cannot hide behind closed doors because old business avails us nothing. It is about whether it's the religious order, whether it's the political order, whether it's the business order. These lines of business have availed us nothing. So it's my purpose to bring the leaders who are doing stuff and who have been elected to do stuff together to the front line so that we can win in the common cause of the good of all human beings. Right. This is not a black thing. This is not a white thing. This is not a dirt bike thing. This is not a police thing. This is not a gang thing. This is not a political thing. This is not Johns Hopkins. This is a people thing. And with all of us united, we will win. And my motto is to everybody. I want to thank you, Jack, because you showed up. You're the only political leader, strong political leader, showed up. But he showed up, and he's been there from the beginning with me, and I'm going to stand behind him to the end. And I know what you go through. But we will win collectively as we can continue to do these things. So I just want everybody to know and remember, September the 10th, 2 p.m. at Park Heights and Cold Spring. That'll be our second walk. The first two walks done, this one I had with the neurology department at Johns Hopkins, where we walked through and we're getting ready to have meetings with the dean and president of Johns Hopkins because I find it a total travesty that we house the biggest healthcare provider in the world, and guess what? There's some kind of disconnect that me and Jack, we're going to straighten out with them. We're going to straighten out. So right now we've adopted several places. We got a STEM school project where we brought Dr. Keith Young in, right, with the Ecotech program, where we're going to school 138, and we're looking for other schools. But once again, this is an empowerment. Today, I just want everybody to walk, embrace the people, just experience what's going on with them, listen to them, grab their phone numbers. Now's the time for all church leaders. How you doing? How you doing, man? Now's the time for all leaders, right, to step forward. It's time for churches, right, to stand back, to open up their doors from 7 to 12 noon. So guess what? These young ladies and young men can go to school. We just can't open up business on Sunday. You see what I mean? Oh, thank you, Jesus. And they just keep on moving on, even with the mosque, even with the political offices and stuff. Hey, check this out. I know running the city is a big job. I know a lot's going on, but Baltimore is the city of first when you check your history. And guess what? The eyes of the nation, the city, and the world are looking at us, and we will deliver because guess what? We are a city of first that brings forth all goodness to the United States and to the world. So together we can. I want to thank you. We're going to walk. We're going to embrace the people. We're going to listen to the people. There's a list that Gretchen and I call her Mom. Where's mine? And mine right here have. I'd like for all y'all to sign in so we can collaborate and become more solidified in our purpose because we have to stop. The senseless killing. We have to stop this dogma of people not trusting one another. We have to stop these hidden meetings behind closed doors for their own goods of making money. We have to stop this. So with all of y'all help, we can make this happen. So I just want to thank you, and we're going to have a moment of prayer real quick, and we're going to go ahead and just walk, greet the people, and do what we have to do, and I will have people reach out to y'all. Thank you, Jack. You don't know you mean a lot to me because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they want these officers, they want these positions and stuff, But check this out. We're in a position right now where if we come together for the good of the people, we can all form a cabinet or line together. It's not about who's the big kahuna. It's not about who's the mayor, who's the lieutenant mayor, who's this. It's all about working together. So what I'm telling you is we know who are running right now. We know who are those people that want to run and want to be quote unquote in charge. But we need to embrace them and talk to them and say, listen, let's come together, and I'm working towards that too, to bring them into a private meeting where we can work together to build a cabinet of all of those strong people together so that we can have a win-win-win situation. And I want to thank this gentleman here because he comes from D.C. working with the motorcycles and stuff like that. We got some issues with dirt bikes, and we're going to work with them to help alleviate the issues of the dirt bike situation and certain conditions that's been created. So I want to thank everybody. God bless us. Have this prayer real quick, sir.
Let us pray. In whatever moment however you want to stand or what have you, hold hands, what have you. Let's just take a moment to breathe in. Take a moment to take in even all the sounds that you hear. And give thanks for the breath that you're taking.
Yes.
Give thanks that months ago this was an area in disrepair, but yet there is hope, yet there is a future, yet we gather in this place together in unity. So Almighty, we give you thanks because we can't do this on our own. We stand on the shoulders of ancestors who've come before us. We stand on the shoulder of prophets who came into this world to help us know which way to go. And we stand in sight of the Almighty, asking to guide our footsteps on this day, so that as people see us and as we engage with the community, we're not looking down on folks, but we are in a place of uplifting and having wonderful dialogue and conversation about the future of this community. So God, we thank thee on this day. Whoever you pray to and whoever hears your prayers, I know that it's already done.
That's right.
Let us go forth and march and walk in victory.
Yes, amen.
Amen.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Clap on that one.
Welcome to It's On Talk Show. I'm here with Council President Jack Young. President Jack Young, what can you say to the citizens of Baltimore so that they can be unified?
All I can say is that we need to realize what we're doing to our city in terms of, job growth,
Yes.
in terms of bringing people to our city, businesses to our city.
Yes.
The whole nation was watching us,
Yes, they are.
and it's a hard sell to get companies to come to Baltimore because people are afraid to come here because they think that Baltimore is some place where our citizens are out of control. They dwell on the negative, but we have a lot of good things going on in Baltimore.
Absolutely.
And I want our citizens to start showing all the positive things and talking about the positive things that's going on in Baltimore. And let's get our children together. These are our children. We need to talk to them,
Yes.
tell them put down the guns,
Yes.
stop the killings, and let's act civilized like we are. And stop acting like we don't love each other and like we don't care about each other. The killings and the murders have to stop.
Absolutely.
And we need to hold elected officials accountable
Yes. And I know you've been in the front line, sir.
from the federal on down to the local. We need to hold our judges accountable. We need to hold our lawyers accountable because our lawyers play a great role in this too.
Oh, yes.
When they're protecting and getting murderers off, it's a ripple effect.
Yes, sir.
We have to hold everybody accountable. And parents and relatives have to start turning in relatives who are contributing to the criminal element in this city. In order for us to grow as a city, we can't take what's going on now.
Yes.
Our children deserve better, and we must give them better. We can't accept the status quo anymore.
That's right.
That's all I can say to our citizens. Let's get it together. Let's move Baltimore forward. This is our city, a city that we love, and we need to help Baltimore grow.
Thank you for your strong leadership, Council President. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Bounced up this year. This is a 10, 15, 20 year. I mean, I remember wanting to be on my bike.
Gotcha.
And to be here now and realizing, hey, there's a lot more safety issues that go along.
Oh yeah,
with
that's what
it. It changes,
gets
but
me
we
the
just
most.
need
Please get some TV. Go ahead, continue to
we just need better communication with the dirt bike riders, because you can't just blame them for it when this is a 10, 15 year. I mean, I was riding in middle school.
Sure.
So now I'm out of school, I'm homeowner,
Yeah.
business owner, and now you look back and you're like, well, it was wrong, but no one addressed it. You know, I remember when they came out and said, okay, we're no longer chasing dirt bikes. So that was like a free range of just like, yo, we're gonna have a good time. And you know, I understand the homeowner's perspective, like, hey, it's too much, I can't park. There's a big enough park right there. I mean, I've done the research, contacted Dream Tracks, and they told me, they said, no, it's not $150,000 to build no track. They said it's between 10 to 15,000. So
That's all?
Yeah, 10 to 15. I mean, for a dirt bike track that what they consider a dirt bike track is, it's mounds of dirt.
using the existing terrain.
Exactly, existing terrain, but all the dirt bike riders want is a nice, flat, smooth surface. And if you literally go right there to Drew Hill and you look maybe 10 feet, 20 feet into the park where they usually can fit, there's a area that could be delegated right to them. Put up a sound barrier, you know, and do that there. Give them Sundays, give them something that says, look, on Sunday, if this is what you want to do, we'll stop it at 10 o'clock or give a take, you know, because noise orient, and then allow them to ride.
Sure.
Because the thing is, you're not going to take the bikes, because one, you're going to have to chase them. And then when you chase them, more people will get injured. And then let's just say you come to their houses, and depending on the type of atmosphere that they're living in or the condition, you might start World War III. Yeah. And it's not worth it for a bike, because if you notice, last Sunday, they came out on horses.
Yeah, they sure did.
So, if you look at the resources that they have, we just now have to channel them to using what's already been set aside for them. So if I know that I got a bike, okay, now let's go reach out to Paswada. Let's start reaching out to motocross. Let's start reaching out to them to show them safety. Like, hey, look, if you're gonna do it, let's do it safely, and let's do it here. Not just do it amongst the streets. Yeah. Now I understand a lot of kids don't have the transportation, like to get the bikes from point A to point B. Yeah. This is Drew Hill is the meeting point. Sure. Drew Hill is the home. I mean, that straightaway is perfect. Yep. And to have our police officers out there in riot gear, right, that was overkill. I mean, we have mobile speed humps. You put a speed hump out there, no one's gonna wheelie on the speed hump. Yeah, yeah. That's beyond their danger. That's beyond comprehension. So I thank the police for being out there, you know. But you can still leave the street open and just put speed humps there. Put a bunch of speed humps. Then you'll find out if a person's suspension on their car is bad, or you need to pull them over and get them to actually do the safety. Oh, look, it's unclear. This is a safety hazard. You need your car fixed. So it'll kill a couple birds with one. But it's just a blessing to see you and your colleagues up here from DC. I mean, we used to put them in the back of pickup trucks. Sure. Throw a tarp over them, ride down there. We tried to stay away from DuPont Circle, but we were hit southeast so hard, and I love the videos, and that brought us to the bike culture. Now, you know, I ride, you know, a motorcycle with all the endorsements that I needed for my license, because I realized, hey, if I want to make it, I got to do things differently. But no one educated us. You can't just stick a police enforcement in front of you and say, you're doing this wrong, because it's going to be that rebellion. So now we need to sit down with the dirt bike riders and the motorcycle riders and the scooter boys and everybody else and have a real dialogue. Not you're right, I'm wrong. See where we're coming from. See what we're asking for. See if you can do it, because if not, you're gonna just have generations, because this is beyond a generational curse. So you're looking at my generation. I'm 29, but I was riding 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Sure. And you're looking at the generation that was doing it, and then a generation that's loving it, and a generation that you see these kids that bam, 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 that's all they say, and these are babies. Yeah. So now you got to worry about the generations. Sure. And with you guys, I mean, this is a blessing. I mean,
it's non-generational, really.
Right.
I'm 70 years old, and I'm looking. This would be great where I could get out and get on my XR100 and ride around again, because you can't do it in an urban environment. The whole state's gotten shut down. It used to be when I was a kid in the country, you know, go over to a friend's farm or a backyard area that was big and just go ride around and nobody said boo. But now there's too many houses, noise is a problem.
I'm here with pastor of the neighborhood. What's your name?
Michael Hunt, Pastor Michael Hunt of the Open Church. I'm the pastor for congregational care for the Open Church of Maryland.
Oh, God bless you.
Yes.
What can you say to this community, because they are angry, they're bitter, they feel like they've been left out. What can you say to give them some hope?
I think it's true to say that what they're feeling is justified.
Yes.
They have been left in the ruins, in essence.
Yes.
And the city and the government has forsaken in many ways. But as we do this walk today, what I am reminded of is that there's hope in not only what we are doing with the walk,
yes,
but also hope in what they can offer and what they can do as well. And so I think that's what's one of the important things about the resources that we're providing, is reminding them that we're trying to do the work. We need their help to do the work.
That's right.
Because, yes, everyone else will forsake you, but we're here.
Yes.
And the question is, these are the people right now, the people who are doing the walk, having conversation. We're willing to help you make this part of town a better place. And the question is, will you help us? And will you be there to do it? And will you take ownership of it so that when we're done, or when we go to another part of the city, and next week we're at Park Heights doing the same, you have to be able to continue the work that you're doing in your community.
Yes.
And so it takes us working together with them, and not this assumption that we're coming in to do it, and because we can't. That's not what I think what our role should be. But we need to give them the tools and resources to do that.
Well, I have a young lady here that's filling in and saying some things. Would you
I
like to
am.
holler? And your name is?
My name is
Come on in.
Earlene. I'm with Grace Restoration Life Ministries, and what he's saying is true. I find that we have to give people back hope and let them know that, first of all, we've come to understand who they are. We've not come to tell them what they need to do.
Right.
Because they're their own teachers. They know what they need. We need to
Yes.
listen to that.
Listen.
What we want to do is open up a dialogue where they can come together, because there's even segregation within the community population. That the community can come together, recognize that it takes all of us to make sure that our kids and our grandkids are going to be safe no matter where we live in Baltimore City.
Yeah.
To make sure that all the resources that they need, including in the school systems and things like that, we're going to be there to support that. So we're here to find out what the community needs and let them know that we don't have to be from this community to realize that we're here to help this community.
And I think she said it, listening.
Listening is the
And
key.
they need somebody to listen,
right.
Because again, like you said in the beginning, they feel left out,
Right.
Abandoned,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
and they've got to feel that they are, or that they do matter.
they do
And
matter.
give you an example, listening right here, this brother, take a listen to, he's talking about his building is right in the middle of all these abandoned buildings.
Yes.
And he wants to know what's going to happen with those buildings. And just listening to that and seeing, even this is the owner, this is someone who cares about the community. He wants to know. And that's what we need to listen. I'm glad that Jackie's here listening and hoping that folks are going to heed what he's saying, because he's saying what he needs. And the question is, are we going to heed what he needs?
And give the community what they need from what they say they need,
Right.
not from what we think they need.
Right.
Well,
I got Freddie Ray out 3 times.
I got the police out, Caesar Goodson. Now this will show you how the circle go around. I posted his bail.
Okay.
All these police up here on their own. If they get locked up today or tomorrow, the fraternal order police is gonna do nothing for them. Because they did nothing for the rest of them. If it wasn't for us posting the bail, they wouldn't be out. They owe me money right now. I call the fraternal order police, guess what they say? I said, I can go lock them up right now. They said, excuse me, babe. I said, I can go lock them up right now. There's nothing y'all can do. They ain't set me near point. His brother came up here, posted his bail. They on their own. They on their own.
So I understand you own a building across the street.
Right there.
And what is your concern about that?
Well, my concern is that long as I've been here, I've been keeping my building up. I've been keeping residents in my building. I've been keeping my building up. And the city has failed to do their job, their part. I got 1,
That is blight.
3, 4 buildings. They don't help with the rats. I'm fighting rats, okay, to keep my building up to code.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm fighting with the rats. I call them. They're not helping with the rats, man. They say if it's not on your property, they could do the alley. Right. On my property, it's up to me. I don't know about poison.
I do understand.
So I'm up here fighting the rats by myself. You know, but basically that's what I'm worried about.
Do you think this neighborhood could turn around?
Most definitely.
What do you think it'll take for that to happen?
Well, what they have to do is make investment in the people. Screw these buildings right now. We pointing at them, that's something that we could see. But you got to make investments in these people around here. You got people that's living in Sandtown. Sandtown is a historically area, a historic area. You got people, Thurgood Marshall and them lived in this area.
That's right.
Okay.
Elijah Cummings.
Elijah Cummings, 2 blocks down.
Yes.
Okay. People that y'all don't know. The Sellers, been here 60 years, 70 years. You know, they just a family around here. I was born and raised in Sandtown, 1500 block of Leslie Street. Okay? This area, it could be a vibrant area, but you gotta make the investment in people. You can't discount the people.
Okay, how can the government do that?
Well, it could be the government, but the people gotta help themselves too.
Okay.
Okay, but the government can come in and give them a hand. Okay, because this didn't happen. They just didn't create all this. It happened and they left it like this. This wasn't created just by the public.
Right.
This wasn't created just by the people here. They left them hanging. Look.
Yeah, that's
Now come on.
That's
I didn't do that.
That's scary. That's scary.
You know, look, it was a fire beside my place. I almost lost my place about 4 years ago. It was a fire. People trying to find somewhere to live. Now that's terrible.
Yeah.
When it was cold.
Well, homelessness is
living
serious
up in
Baltimore.
that building.
Yeah.
Now that's terrible right there, where you got a neighborhood where people is living in empty houses.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
That's sad.
That's more than sad. You got a neighborhood where people are living in empty houses. So now how do you think the people, even the police, feel about them people? They discount them.
Yes.
Oh, you live in an empty house, you ain't nothing.
That's right.
They discount them people. That's where you have to make the investment. And people always want to live in them empty houses. Stuff could happen when you get homelessness is the start of everything. You lose your house, man. You lose your roof. You lose your place to stay. You know, then you done lost your children. You done lost the respect.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Here comes the discounting, you know, with the people.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
Yeah, that's what we need around here, man. We don't need a handout. We need a hand. The old adage, we need a hand.
Thank you, sir.
We can do this.
My name is Yo that do the slick tattoos.
And your name,
Yeah.
sir?
William Wright.
How you guys doing today?
All right, and yourself. Been better, been worse. But I can't complain, you know.
Yeah. Hey, tell me,
chill.
we just had the riots here. It's been civil unrest. What do you think could make the neighborhood better?
Real better
Equality.
police.
How about
Police that really like their jobs, not the destroyers who look at all of us as criminals. You feel me?
And you?
I think same way like my partner said, you know, if they didn't stereotype us so much, you know, and just besides that, if it was equality in the neighborhoods, just in the hood, period, you know, then you know, some rec centers and kids,
Right.
you know, just some of that taxpayer money, you know, that yeah, you know, that come up missing, you know what I mean?
How well do I know?
Yeah, how I know well myself, you know. We used all the tax money to fix the street though, right?
Well,
The
and
street
they
still ain't-
and they haven't
street
invested
still
in the
fucked
people.
up.
No,
You know?
they don't
Nah,
invest
they
in
don't
the people.
invest in the people.
I mean, all they really care about is the money that they can get for it, not really to help us. When they do
business.
things for the community, they don't really do it for the community, they do it for tax write-offs or just to build their name up. They say, well, I did this or I helped do this. Because in all actuality, if it was really for the people, then we'd have more people standing up, you feel me? For the youth that's coming up. I mean, look at this young youth that's up now, you feel me? They really gone, you know what I mean? So it's taken for a lot of us, it's been too long for a lot of us to gain knowledge of ourselves. We gotta have knowledge of ourselves in order to change the community. People now more hands-on with the community. You feel me? They need to be more hands-on with the community because anybody can sit on the outside and say this needs to be changed, but you'll never really know how much it needs to be changed until you
Come on,
until you
Inside, that's right. You know, I'm soon next month the trials will start. What do you think will happen if the police don't go to jail?
It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a big
Part 2.
part thing to it, confusion.
Part 2.
Yeah, they don't feel like they got away with it.
What you think gonna happen if the police
Well-
don't go to jail? What's your opinion? You know,
Well-
and your expertise.
Okay,
you know?
thank
What's
you.
your expert
I
opinion?
think it would be truly civil unrest. And, you know, the mayor has ordered the police department more armor gear. So that concerns me. And I'm very worried about what the future will hold for Baltimore. You know what I mean? And this community and other communities around the city. So as a community, we got to hope and pray that things will work out. I thank you.
Yeah, what they say, you know, what is it? Faith without work is worthless, you know? So we can hope and pray all day until tomorrow and the day after that. You gotta make some effort, you know, and if you want to make changes, then you gotta make changes, you know? You can't just pray on it, you know? I mean, you gotta give all of the, you know, you know, gratitude to the Most High, you know? But at the same time, you know, you can sit out here and talk all day, you know, that's not getting anything done.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a pleasure talking to y'all,
All
though.
right, thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day here. I'm here with Rudy. He's acquainted of this neighborhood. Rudy, what do you think about this area as a result of the Freddie Gray trials?
Oh, it hasn't been any changes in this area. You know, I don't believe there will be any changes in this area. Most of the people in this area, you know, are indigent. You know, so I don't know what kind of change that is going to occur, either happening before the riots or after the riots.
Well, you know, they go to court beginning next month. What do you think will happen?
Whatever the outcome is, it's going to be an opportunity for people to capitalize on that in a negative way.
Wow.
Because what I believe and what a lot of people believe and what a lot of people are afraid to say is that whatever the verdict is, if it's anything less than life in prison, it's going to be an excuse for people, as far as thugs, to participate in the same behavior that they participated in when the Freddie Gray incident first occurred. So the rebuilding of all these stores, whether they corporation stores or whether they privately owned stores, it's going to be the same thing all over again.
Wow. So we better, as citizens, we almost have to brace ourselves because it's a strong potential that chaos could occur.
9 times out of 10, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again, you know, unless the mayor has to call in. See, what the mayor should do, instead of trying to be politically correct, call the National Guard in ahead of time.
Okay.
Have them stand by on post and ready, because you have to protect the citizens and you have to protect the property of Baltimore. Normal people who protest, once the protest is over, they go home. We don't riot and loot, rob, and steal. Normal people don't do that.
That's right.
It's
That's
people
right.
who's want to participate or capitalize on the opportunity to use that for an excuse to participate in that type of behavior. So in order to prevent that, you have to have National Guard stand by, and you can't try to be politically correct and say, well, that's going to show some form of aggression. you have to, as the mayor, as a leader of the community, and as the city of Baltimore, the property has to be protected and so do citizens.
Right.
So you have to have a force to stand by and are willing to do whatever they have to do necessary to keep the peace in the city.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
And you know one thing that they forgot all about and see,
What?
people they try to make this a racial thing, but see, because when they bought the National Guard and they tried to say it was a racial thing, but see, we forgot about this before, might be before your time, when they had the riots and when they were doing a protest in the Vietnam War in Kent State, Ohio. They brought in the National Guard for students who were protesting. All those students were white students. So you can't say that we bringing the National Guard in because it's black people.
A strong point.
Yeah, they brought the National Guard there, and 4 people were killed by the National Guard. You know, and now, and the people that were killed by the National Guard, they were white students at Kent State University.
Okay.
You know, so it's not a black or white thing. It's a
people thing.
It's a people thing, exactly. You know?
Thank you, sir, so
Okay,
much.
welcome.
It's on Talk Show. I'm here with Brother Derek. How you doing, sir?
I'm blessed, sir. How you feeling today?
I'm so good, and I applaud you so much for coming back to this area to show your care and concern. What's the name of your organization?
It's Because Foundation. Just because it's the right thing to do.
Okay. And what is exactly your foundation doing for this community?
Right now, what we're doing, we're bridging the gap to those who are in power and not in power to make a difference. You know, there's a gray area where no one wants to enter or acknowledge and stuff, and we have to build relationships with those that are in power and those who are the citizens that voted these people in or trust these people to be in power.
Right. You know, the trial is coming up real soon, and what is your greatest fear about this trial coming up?
I really have no fear. The actuality is that we need to incorporate and put things in place to help the people who need help. There's going to be some people who are going to be resistant and stuff like that, but we need to have safety nets and stuff for them to get the resources, whether it's mental health, whether it's a job placement or education, to move forward and stuff like that. We can't let fear or negative vibes hinder this positive movement that's taking place in Baltimore and it's going to be around the nation.
Okay. And who are some of your sponsors?
I'm not going to say sponsors, but people that are
Well, I'm sorry, networking with you.
well, we've been working with Nation of Islam. We've been working with the NACP. We've been working with different families in the street families and stuff like that. We've been working with the Baltimore City Police Department, Sonny Elijah Cummings, and a lot of other entities and individuals. Johns Hopkins Hospital Neurology Department and stuff like that have been working with us. And we've also partnered with Dr. Keith Young that has a program called Ecotech, where we're going to be bringing a STEM project into School 138 located at Monroe and Harlem. And we're utilizing our own personal money to bring this to children of Baltimore and the city of Baltimore.
That's great. So if you look in the camera, you can let all the Baltimoreans know that there's somebody that care about them, concerned about them, and wants to uplift them. Could you tell them that?
Yes, hey, check this out, Baltimore. People do care. There's a lot of people working night and day to help uplift those who have been slighted. Please join us September the 10th at the intersection of Cold Spring and Park Heights for our Power Walk, where we're going to empower the citizens and the people of Baltimore City with resources and networking with religious, spiritual, and political leaders. Please come out. There are people working day and night that's not on TV that's working for you. And we need you in order to make it happen. Do not let fear stunt your growth. Come out and support us. Support yourself.
Do you have any contact information?
Right now, the website is in process right now, but you can check out Facebook with Baltimore Uprising, Facebook/Baltimore Uprising.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to It's On Talk Show. I'm here with Minister Carlos Muhammad. It's a pleasure to have you back on the show again, sir. With Baltimore civil unrest, people are feeling so weary The trial's about to start.
Yes.
And no one knows what's going to happen. The citizens of Baltimore need some comfort. What can you say to them?
Well, the people that are devastated here every day and way before the Freddie Gray incident, as we can see the neighborhood that we're in right now, is under abject poverty.
Yes.
And so the community needs to be educated in reference to this trial. If the local officials and politicians do not educate the people on how this trial could play out in the judicial system, then you're basically leaving the people under the impression that because there was an indictment, that there's going to be a conviction.
Yes.
And so this is one of the things that we must get out in the streets and do, is to really educate the people and have forums to talk about the trial, you know, and talk about how these outcomes could affect the city, because the city definitely, in terms of law enforcement, is prepared for another civil uprising, and that's what we want to avoid.
Yeah, because I heard the mayor ordered more armored gear for the police.
Yes, she's only doing what many of the bigger cities had done years ago. Chicago, New York City. If you really look at the police department, for the most part, they begin to take on a paramilitary look. And this is also something that needs to be discussed, because we see that this puts a stigmatism in the minds of people that have already been oppressed, already abused. And, you know, as we study those sciences, once you're abused, even if you come to do good, I'm already under the impression that you're coming to harm. So these are things that have to be worked out in the community. And this is what we, the followers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, are dedicated to coming out and help uplift our people and support them in any way that we can.
I would personally like to ask you to express my thanks to Minister Louis Farrakhan for his care and his concern for Baltimore. We thank him so much.
Hey, absolutely. God willing, I'll see him in Cleveland, Ohio next week, and I certainly will convey that message.
Peace and God bless you.
Peace and God bless. Thanks, John.
My brother.
Always.
Welcome to It's On Talk Show. I'm here with Will Hanna and Odessa, two great developers in the city. So here we are in Sandtown. Of course, you all know that the riots happened, civil unrest. So where do we go from here?
Well, what we've done with the NAACP, and I serve as the chair of the Economic Development Committee, a part of what we've done is we actually put a satellite office in this community right after the riots, just to begin to stave off some of the issues here. So we began to do expungements and a lot of other things, and now looking at economic and community development here in this area, and seeing how we can help people.
Okay, great. And that's good. And I do applaud the great president, Tessa Hill Aston, for such a fine job with the NAACP. Odessa, what do you think is going to happen with Sandtown?
My hope is that we're going to find some jobs that changes the whole atmosphere of this community. The reason that it looks the way it is, the people act the way they act, so to speak, is because they don't have any opportunities. They don't see hope and opportunity in this community. So my hope is to bring it to them.
And you know, I was driving down Park Heights and Woodland the other day, and I was almost frightened at what I saw. All the vacant houses. It just looked like a monster was going to come out there and grab you. Yeah. So when children go to school every day and they walk through these neighborhoods and see that, I mean, it's horrifying. What can so you are the developer. So if you see something like that, how would it affect you?
Well, as a resident of Park Heights, and Odessa and I both have experience in Park Heights. I currently serve as the president and CEO of the new Park Heights Community Development Corporation, alongside what I do with the NAACP. So there's a lot of challenges in Park Heights. Yeah. The one thing Park Heights doesn't have is a money problem. What we have is a priority issue. Is making sure that the issues that face the people become a priority to the people that have the power. Okay. So what we're doing now is we're beginning to train people to begin to do the work. We have a community that has a 30% unemployment rate. We have a 60% rental issue there. So, and what we've done in creating affordable housing, land trusts, and those types of things, and real estate investment trusts, to begin to do some of that economic stuff that needs to be done there, getting people jobs, partnerships. Right now we have a partnership with Baltimore City Community College to begin to train people in particular fields so that they, with a job attached to it. Okay. So that now we take people that don't have any hope to now they become hopeful.
Yeah, you know, and I would have to call you a game changer.
Well, That's positive. I've been called a lot of things.
That's good. That's positive.
I've been called a lot of things. Game changer is a good one.
Yeah.
But
no game changer.
The thing is that when you have a lot of positive energy, and we've done this for years, you know, and like I said, I've lived in Park Heights for 30 years, but I grew up in this area prior to living in Park Heights. So we understand what the issues are, understand what the problems are, and I think the only way you get that is having people that live in those communities, that know those communities, that understand those communities, and know the people.
Right.
So when you know the people and you understand what their concerns are, because they are our neighbors, they're our aunts and uncles, they're my grandchildren, my mother, all of those that live in those neighborhoods. So when we know them, we understand the intricacies of what goes on in those neighborhoods, the unemployment.
Right.
You know, why is there unemployment? We know that there are a lot of businesses there, 712 merchants in Park Heights, all those types of things. But we also have the problems that Park Heights has with 38 liquor establishments in a 1,700-acre area. A lot of concentration there of that. You have those issues. You have 5 drug treatment centers in a 4-square-block area. Another problem. So we have to not allow those things to happen and not repeat the things that happened in the past, so that we can bring the future and make it a lot brighter.
Do you have any contact information?
I do. They can reach us. Our website is parkheightscdc.com. They can email us at parkheightscdc@gmail.com, and our office number is 443-550-1232.
Could you say it a little slower?
Phone number is 443-550-1CDC or 1232.
Okay, all right. Baltimore, if you need help, you can contact him, again, for housing, jobs, training, and that's really positive, and that's why I call him a game changer, because he's changing the game for you, and you can become successful and a homeowner.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's powerful. Thank you. Ms. Odessa,
Yes,
so what's your vision?
My vision, this is the place that taught me how to dream. Baltimore City in general, the urban areas, Penn and North, Sandtown, Winchester, and Park Heights. So I guess that puts a lot into my heart. My vision is to allow the residents and the people who grew up here to see what I see in Baltimore City, which is a lot of hope and a lot of opportunity. You just got to grab it and hold on to it.
Because, you know, it's funny, people from out of state, from D.C., Philly, other places, they see great potential in Baltimore, and they invest in Baltimore. And we as Baltimoreans must understand the great potential there is and take advantage of it.
Exactly. And that's why like partnerships like what me and Will Hannah have are instrumental in bringing that different mindset to communities like this, because we have the vision, we see it, even though we grew up in these different areas and we worked in these areas and we're faced with the challenges every day. We definitely see the potential of the community, and we have a contagious thought process that kind of leaks out into the residents and gives them that hope that's needed to just see the dream that we're trying to bring and actually follow through with it.
Do you have any contact information?
I do have contact information. I'm with Baltimore Development Corporation right now down on 36 South Charles Street. And honestly, so new to them. The phone number there is 410-837-9305. Again, that's 410-837-9305. And what we do is we work with entrepreneurs, small business, businesses that exist to help them expand their capacity with the hope of hiring and bringing jobs and new opportunities to communities like this.
All right. Okay. Very valuable people. Contact her, take advantage of her, because she's here to help you. She's here to develop you and make you grow. Thank you. Welcome back. I have here today Lauren Heyman, and Lauren Heyman has interest in dirt bike parks. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's so good. So what can you offer to Baltimore in trying to get a park for the dirt bikes?
Okay, well, my god sister Allison Blending was killed back in May at Cold Spring Station, the parking lot there.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've been entertaining with the American Motorcyclists Association is, what about a dirt bike park in Baltimore? Is that effective? Councilman Pete Welch has put that on the table as well. So we're trying to bring everyone together, government entities, faith-based entities, dirt bike riders themselves as well, to see what will a solution be outside of riding on the streets and endangering each other.
Right. Yeah, because it is so needed because it's something that children like, young people like, and it can be turned into a sport. Even make it can be profitable,
Yes.
entertainment.
Yes.
So, what do you, in reference to the entertainment piece, do you have anything on that?
Yes, like you said, it's profitable. Let's market it. If we can get motocross to come here, like they did at M&T Bank Stadium, let's have some major developers here in Baltimore. Let's get Under Armour. Let's get maybe some high-ranking people to sponsor, let's say, each community.
Right.
And each community come and they show what they can do, and the city government would okay it, and it'll be profitable because we'd have spectators, onlookers, sort of the same thing as the Baltimore City race that they did with the Indy cars.
Yeah.
Why not do it with dirt bikes?
That's
If we
right.
can do it for Indy cars, why can't we do it for our own communities as well and make it profitable for the city in the meantime as well?
Right. And the big issue with bike park is how will they get from point A to B? I mean, hey, real simple. You have a lot of people in the city with pickup trucks. They could rent the trucks or hire for service, and that's real simple. So they can get that transport. And so one thing I like what's happening in Baltimore. Everybody has a great interest in Baltimore and want to see Baltimore be better and do better, and for its people because they do matter. So I do believe that something good is going to happen, and people will come together and make this happen. And I just want to thank Councilman Pete Welch for proposing this to City Council. Thank you. Is there any last words you'd like to say?
I would just like to say, as a community, the city of Baltimore, we have to do better in reference to protecting ourselves and making sure that we are safe, not just on a dirt bike standpoint, but the murder rate within our city right now is outrageous. We need to come together and collectively as a whole, faith-based, gang members, dirt bike riders, politicians, everybody needs to come together. We need to sit down, not just because there was a riot, but we need to do it on a monthly basis, maybe even bi-weekly. Sit down together, let's figure out how we can fix our city. That's what my last word would be.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Welcome to It's On Talk Show. I have here today, and your name is?
Chaos.
Chaos. As a young man, what do you feel?
As far as
the civil unrest that happened, the future, what's your concerns?
my concerns is my kids growing up and not being able to roam freely in the streets. Just different things, because we have a lot of police that's supposed to be protecting our community and protecting us as a whole, and they're not doing their job how they're supposed to be doing.
That's been proven. Yeah. So you're saying the police brutality, it's a major thing, and you're concerned about your kids, and that's valid, because what has happened is so much children, especially young black men, have been accosted by the police, beaten, and more, and that needs to stop.
Yes, it definitely does. It's a work in progress. I believe with time and effort it can change, but at the end of the day, we need everybody's cooperation. This is not a thing that me, you, or even any of us is here by ourselves can do. It has to be a collective effort to where as though we can all pitch in and help.
What would you like to say to the police department concerning black young men?
I believe that they should leave our black young men alone. At the end of the day, it's things that have happened, okay, that's in the past. But for people that's trying to do better, I believe they should stop harassing us and let us move on with our lives.
That's very true, and that definitely needs to happen. So what do you think will happen if the police concerning the Freddie Gray incident do not get time in jail?
I believe Baltimore City will be in an uprise. At the end of the day, it's sad to say that something like that is a possibility, but it's life, and it's something that could happen at the end of the day. So, I mean, we taking it one day at a time, and hopefully we pray for the outcome and justice for Freddie Gray.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, it's been a day here at Pennsylvania North. You've heard all the people say many great things, wanting to help in the citizens of Baltimore, particularly in the Santan area. They have programs. I know Empowerment Temple has their Freddie Gray Center. So many wonderful things have happened here in this area so that the people can feel that they do matter. And it's very important that they do matter and that they understand that and take advantage of all the opportunities that are being presented to them because they want, these groups want them to do better and be better people. There are endless opportunities here. There's going to be development here, job training. So do take advantage of all those things so that the people in this area know that they definitely do matter and that people care about them. I now say to you, and they talked about committing yourself. So if you're a citizen of this area, be committed to your area and be partakers in the redevelopment. And we hope and pray that the verdict doesn't come out to be not guilty, because we would be fearful as to what could happen again. So all we can do is pray. Let's keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Thank you.
Are they ready for the worst? With the trial coming up for the 6 officers charged in connection with Freddie Gray's death, Baltimore city leaders reassure the public they are working to stop potential unrest. WJZ investigator Mike Halgren is live in Mondawmin Mall, where the violence started in April. And Mike, you have new details about this plan.
That's right, Lynn. It includes a new information center between schools, transportation officials, and city police where they can share real-time information. Now, the trials for those officers are coming up soon, but also there are hearings coming up, including whether the charges should be dismissed and whether the trials should be moved out of the city.
We're ready. We're ready.
Baltimore's mayor, who's faced tough criticism after the riots, is gearing up for another test of her leadership. With critical hearings on the trial of the 6 officers accused in Freddie Gray's death starting soon and their trials scheduled for October, she announced partnerships between school and MTA police forces.
The people of our city who have had to deal with the aftermath don't want to see that again.
The city has yet to release a formal report on what went so wrong on April 27th. But part of the problem stemmed from unrest that started among young people on social media, calling for a gathering at Mondawmin. Once violence broke out, MTA buses carrying 5,000 students were shut down, leaving many trapped, creating a chaotic, unsafe environment.
We've strategized to actually move some of those youngsters away just to cut down on the amount of traffic that's there at the mall.
The city school CEO plans to hold a summit with 100 student leaders to talk about what happened and explain the justice system. A priority for city police is direct communication with school officials in case of an emergency.
We're standing up a joint information center, the JIC, where all of our partners will physically be in the same room and will literally face-to-face be sharing information.
Crews getting forward, and we got no shields. You think we can get somebody down here?
The commissioner says his force now has new riot gear as they prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But there are problems, including for city school police officers. Their union leadership had requested new riot gear, saying the old stuff was substandard. City schools will not buy it for them. Reporting live at Mondawmin, Mike Halgren, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Mike, thank you. There will also be meetings over the next few days with police in neighboring counties and the National Guard.
The state medical examiner's autopsy into Freddie Gray's death revealed that officers placed him on a metal bench in the back of the van following his arrest, but he was not restrained. During a second stop on Baker Street, Gray was removed from the van and placed in ankle cuffs, before being slid onto the floor of the van. The medical examiner surmised that Gray may have gotten to his feet at some point during the journey and was thrown into the wall during an abrupt change in direction sometime between the second and fourth stops. Gray was found lying belly down on the floor while facing the cabin compartment by an assisting officer, who then placed him on the bench. Police picked up a second arrestee at a fifth stop, where Gray was found unresponsive and kneeling on the floor, facing the front of the van and slumped over to his right against the bench. The medical examiner concluded that Gray suffered a severe spinal injury to the lower left part of his head.
So what do we know?
You know, collectively, this is so serious. They're collectively facing up to 173 years in prison. As we've been reporting, up until the time of their booking, we didn't know their races. Now we know 3 of the officers were white, 3 are African American, including the driver of the van, Anderson, who faces that most serious of charges, Cesar Goodson Jr., 45 years old. He's been on the Baltimore Police Department since 1999. We've checked his record thoroughly, found only a civil case against him by Citibank for about $5,000. Even his driving record clean, according to the DMV. Goodson faces 6 charges, including that second-degree murder and manslaughter. That's a possible 63 years in prison for this officer. Also facing 6 charges, the most senior officer involved with the arrest, Lieutenant Brian Rice. He's 41, he's white, with Baltimore PD since '97. And in his recent past, he has been involved in a nasty domestic situation with another Baltimore police officer. In 2012, a couple, were fighting over a custody of their child. The mother of that child, Anderson, called police, fearing Rice might harm himself. Police actually responded, removed 7 weapons from Lieutenant Rice's home, including his service weapon. He was driven to a hospital, but the case seems to end there. Rice faces now charges including involuntary manslaughter, second-degree assault, possible sentence for him, 30 years behind. Now, the next 2 officers that you're going to see, they're in yellow vests, bike helmets. The bike cops originally arrested Freddie Gray. They're much younger. Edward Nero, 29 years old, white, has been on the force just 3 years. 5 charges he's facing, the most serious, assault in the second degree. His total sentencing could be 20 years. Garrett Miller, 26 years old, also white. It was Miller and Nero that you see frisking Freddie Gray. They claim this is when they confiscated a switchblade. That's what the officers claimed gave them cause for arrest. The prosecutor, of course, today says that knife was a pocket knife, not illegal. There was no reason Freddie Gray should have been arrested at all, says the prosecutor. For that reason, Miller, Nero, and Lieutenant Rice are charged with false imprisonment. Officer William Porter, 25 years old, he's black, hired in 2012, 3 charges including involuntary manslaughter, second-degree assault. And finally, a woman, Sergeant Alicia White, who is black, charged with 3 counts, charges that could bring 20 years in prison. Anderson, as far as our records show right now, none of these officers have been charged in any crime relating to their duties in the past. They're obviously now facing much more serious charges here.